Dolan true, fellow captains and admirals. My name is Jerry, and I'm hailing you from the Antari shipyard with a new entry from the captain's table. In this series, we gather around my virtual table to talk about intrigue and possible strategy of highlighted cards from the most recent releases. We dive into the interactions between cards to look for synergies and combinations that can help you elevate your game. So gather around, my fellow captains and admirals, and together we'll unlock the secrets of these cards. So in today's episode, we are taking a look at the tech from the Alliance Part 2 pack. So Klingon flavored tech. And again, these cards are in a ranking of my choosing. And I know that this video is Alliance flavored, but it is not Alliance specific. So we are looking at the cards that come from the Alliance pack, but we're also looking at how they fit into the wider world of Attack Wing itself. So these rankings are personal opinions by me. They were very hard to do because all of the tech that comes in the Klingon pack is actually really good, and I find there is use for it all over the place. The next couple of videos, they're going to have these kind of rankings, and I'm going to be completely honest, they are all hard. So without further ado, let's get into the first card. So the card that is the lowest ranked in my grouping here is going to be the Federation Tech Extend Shields. 1 per ship. In phase, if you have 1 or more active shields, place 3 time tokens on this card and place 1 auxiliary power token besides this ship to target a friendly ship within range 1. The target ship repairs 1 shield. 3 points. So there are a couple of cards that this kind of doubles with, but it's definitely something that's very contained within itself. So there aren't a lot of cards that are like it. There aren't a lot of cards that support it. But here are 3 that I did find. The first one being from the new Too Boldly Go faction pack. Ships of the Line. That would be Theoderic Patterson. Fleet action, target the ship or a friendly ship within range 1 to 2. Place a scan token besides the target ship. If the target ship is within range 1 of a non-planet obstacle, you may also repair 1 hull on target ship. If the target ship has a Starship Construction upgrade equipped, you may also remove an Ox Power token from besides that ship. So Extend Shields may help you repair a shield, and then Patterson can come in and help you repair a hull and get rid of that Ox Power that you just put on from Extend Shields. Mirok Science Vessel comes from the Romulan faction pack, the 2017 one. Target a friendly ship within range 1 to 2, repair 1 shield or hull on the target ship. So it's an action, you get to do that, and then if you've got Extend Shields equipped, you can do Extend Shields during the end phase. And then Scout 609 comes from the Resistance is Futile pack. Action, target a friendly ship within range 1 and 2, repair 1 shield or hull on the target ship. So the exact same text as from Mirok Science Vessel. Albeit a lot more expensive. Alright, the next card in my ranking is Reactor Vent. So it is 1 per ship, Klingon tech upgrade, combat phase. If there is an opposing ship within range 1, you may spend 1 Ox Power token from besides this ship to roll 1 attack dice. On a hit or crit result, discard 1 shield token from the opposing ship. So this is amazing, and it's something that is starting to show up a lot more in the game, and that is the spending of Ox Power tokens. So in order to use Reactor Vent, you need to give yourself an Ox Power token. There are multiple ways to do that. Now, also, with Reactor Vent, you're going to be spending that Ox Power token to roll 1 attack die. So there is one card that comes to mind that kind of helps this card out, and that's Julian Bashir. At any time, you may discard this card to reroll any 1 die. So he's the one card that's in the game that can reroll any dice. So he could definitely help out here. Now, the next cards that I picked definitely help you get that Ox Power token that you're looking for to use Reactor Vent in the combat phase. Because there is something to be said for preparing to use an Ox Power token in the combat phase. So Gul Macet, when attacking during the roll attack dice step, you may add +1 attack die to your roll. If you do so, place an Ox Power token beside your ship. So Gul Macet, boom, combat phase, get an Ox Power, roll +1 attack dice, and then afterwards, you can use Reactor Vent. Actually, no, you'd have to wait, because Reactor Vent's at the top of the combat phase. Kern, he's in action. When attacking this round, gain +1 attack dice. Place an auxiliary power token beside your ship. So Kern has got the right kind of order of operations here, where in the activation phase, it's an action. You're going to gain an attack dice, and then you also gain the Ox Power token. When then in the reactor event, or in the combat phase, you can then activate reactor event at the top, as long as you got a ship within range 1. You get to get rid of that Ox Power, and then still roll that +1 attack dice. Janeway, again, gives you an Ox Power for doing an additional action, or copying the action that you just did, whether it was evade, scan, or battle station. Captain Worf from the USS Pasture Pack doesn't get much play, doesn't get pulled out very often, but again, he's another one that has the same kind of order of operations that Kern does. So you get to roll +1 attack dice and +1 defense dice this round, and then place an auxiliary power token beside your ship. So he's going to gain +1 attack, +1 defense. You get the Ox Power. Get rid of the Ox Power at the top of the combat phase. You're still rolling the +1 attack and +1 defense. That's crazy. That's crazy good to me. Another way to make that even better is to get another card. You can actually add the crew or the captain skill boost Worf, because this one is mirror universe. So you could have Worf and then captain skill Worf to increase Worf's captain skill up to 7, I think, because it is mirror universe. There's a way to get Worf's captain skill boosted. I don't know it off the top of my head, but there are ways. So that's interesting to me. That may become a future build challenge that I may do. Romulan Commander, during the combat phase this round, your ship attacks before every other ship. Place an auxiliary power token beside your ship. So Romulan Commander, it is an action. So you're not going to get any kind of quality unless you have other things to give you that quality. But you're going to attack first, and you're going to get that Ox Power token to get rid of it with Reactor Vent. The next card in my ranking here is going to be Passive Sensors. It's 1 per ship, 2 costs, Klingon tech. In phase, if you did not attack this round, place 1 scan token on this card, max of 1. Free action, place 1 scan token from this card besides this ship. So, for this card, I was looking for things that kind of made sense to do with scan. Of course, Passive Sensors only works if you do not attack. So, this is going to work in those early rounds of play, where you guys are not within range to attack. Or directly after the joust, where you guys are trying to turn around and come back into range of one another. So this is a card that's definitely going to help you build some scan tokens. Another card that's kind of like this is William T. Riker from the Assimilation Target Prize OP pack. Very hard to find card, but each time you perform a battle station, an evade, or a target lock action, place 1 additional token of the appropriate type on this card. During the activation phase, you may spend 1 token from this card and perform the corresponding action as a free action. So, pairing this with this Riker, you could possibly get to place a battle stations, an evade, or a target lock as a free action, and then place the scan token beside your ship, so you get even more things. Chulak places 3 scan tokens beside your ship as a free action. I'm definitely working on this theory of reducing the defense dice of cloaked ships to 0. And I believe it can be done. And Chulak is definitely a main builder in that build. Passive Sensors can definitely help because you're placing, so you're not actually doing the action. So you can place 4 scan tokens beside your ship. And we know cloaking ships typically roll between 6 and 7 dice. So if you've already got 4 scan tokens, and then say you bring in like Beta Hirogen and then Do, a scan as your action, you could potentially put up to 6 scan tokens next to your ship and completely negate any kind of cloaking defense. Again, probably another video idea for Chipotle build, but we'll get there. Mr. Spock, if your ship has a scan token beside it when you attack, convert all your battle stations to hits. Classic. The Enterprise A, the OP prize pack from the classic movies, OPs. I put this out here because it loves scan tokens. It wants scan tokens to add +1 attack dice and then +2 if the ship is cloaked. Science Station, again, if the ship's cloaked, place 2 time tokens on this card, and then you get to place a scan token besides your ship, and then perform a target lock action. And then, of course, Klingon Helmsman, place 2 time tokens on this card, and you get to perform a scan action as a free action. Alright, the next card in my ranking here is going to be Enhanced Thrusters. So this card is locked to a Cavort and Burrell class only. Costs 5 points, so it is a bit expensive, but it's got interesting things that it can do. Execute Maneuver Step. When the ship performs a bank, right or left, maneuver of speed 2 or 3, you may treat that maneuver as red to rotate the ship 180 degrees. That's crazy. So you can rotate your ship. So you may bank and you're out of range. You use this card and you rotate your ship, and then all of a sudden your opponent is scrambling because you may have just put them in your sights. So the cards that I picked to kind of pair with this would be cards that would negate the Aux Power tokens. So Montgomery Scott. This Montgomery Scott obviously gives you the tech slot to put this in. But again, that's a pretty expensive combo, depending on the ship that you're putting it on. Well, you have to put it on a Klingon ship, so you're going to be paying faction penalty for Scott. So this is really a 10-point combo. This other Montgomery Scott allows you to place 2 Aux Power tokens beside him. Again, he's going to be a 4-point card, so that's a 9-point combo coming in. But an interesting combo that I was really thinking of was Romulan Cloaking Device. I know that Romulan Cloaking Device alone costs 5 SP to be put on a Klingon ship. If you got Tyrol equipped, the cost goes down to 3 points. That may be worth it. But the important part of this is now, say you get rid of that Aux Power and you're able to still do your action, you can do a Sensor Echo action with a bank template, and you can almost run circles around your opponent that way. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I may try that in a build soon. We'll have to see. So the next card in my ranking here is Secondary Cloaking Coil. So action. Discard this card. Repair 1 shield token. If you have a cloak action on the ship's action bar, you may cloak as a free action. So this card not only helps Klingons, this card also helps Romulans. Really, it helps any ship that has a cloaking icon on the bar. I know I've been when playing, I run into many situations where I'm decloaked for X reason, and my opponent attacks me and then strips all of my shields, and then all of a sudden I'm left with no ability to cloak, and my ships are cloakers. So Secondary Cloaking Coil just allows you to get that 1 shield token back to allow you to cloak. Definitely a lifesaver on cloaking ships, which is why I have chosen to just pair it with all of the cloaking ships. Alright, next card in the ranking is going to be Targeting Array. You can have 2 blue target lock tokens. When you perform a target lock action, you may perform an additional target lock action against a different opposing ship within range. So this is unique, so you can only have 1 of them in your fleet. Cost of 4. A card like this, immediately I think of multi-attack weapons. Things like Torpedo Fusillade. Could you imagine if you fire that and you've got 2 target lock tokens out there on 2 ships in your firing arc? That you could all of a sudden now re-roll and have a little bit more better quality chance? That's amazing. Disruptor Bombardment is another one that you can possibly do this to. And then another wild card is Multi-Vector Assault Mode. Having 2 target lock tokens. You still have to have a battle stations to fire it, but Again, you're going to lose your Battle Stations token because you have to spend it. And then you're going to get the target lock tokens for even more quality. Another thing I thought of was additional phaser arrays where you get to make multiple attacks with your primary weapon. So you'd say you've got 2 ships with target lock tokens in front of you. You fire primary on one that's in range 1. Then you can disable additional phaser arrays to make another attack at the one that's at range 2, and you still got quality. And Tain is another reason to attack early. And then you've got Galvron, who will give you a target lock action, or he'll give you a battle stations action, and then you can immediately perform an additional action off your action bar if you have a Klingon ship with a Klingon captain. So then you can do the target lock. So then you've got a battle station and a target lock, or 2 target locks at that point. Awesome card. So the next card in the ranking here is Secondary Relays. When the ship would disable a weapon upgrade, if you do not have any Aux Power tokens besides the ship, you may place a Aux Power token ship besides the ship instead. Amazing. So this card is a 2-point tech card, so 3 points on any other ship other than Klingon. But 3 points I would be almost willing to pay. Because this ship all of a sudden makes Federation photon torpedoes, the originals that you disable, or even the new quantum torpedoes that you have to disable, just more valuable and viable to play. Because now we're talking about the old quantum torpedoes were 6 points. With Secondary Relays and quantum torpedoes, I can have a 6-point quantum torpedoes that never disables. So I can fire it every round as long as the opponent's at range 2 to 3. Same thing with the new Klingon torpedoes, and then the Federation torpedoes from sets past, from these most recent faction packs. Again, amazing. You can run this with Montgomery Scott, who can place the Aux Power token on him, or run Reactor Vent, and you can get rid of it the next combat phase. Dorsal Weapons Array is another one where you disable to perform the attack. That's a range 1 to 3 weapon in any direction. So again, Aux Power token to keep that enabled. And that would be a 6-point combo as well. Alright, so the last card in my ranking is Reinforced Hull. 1 per ship, has to be on a hull of 4 or greater, cost of 2, 3 on non-Klingon ships, and adds +2 to the ship's hull value. Amazing again. So the first thing I thought of when I saw this card was my Vorn just got a bit beefier. I love the Vorn, and now I got a beefier Vorn. So you add this card onto the Vorn, you are up to 7 hull. Of course, I'd have to leave my Klingon cloaking device at home, which I have been burned so many times in the past on, but it's almost worth it. It is almost worth it to beef the hull up to 7. Thinking outside of the Klingon faction, we've got the Enterprise A. You put this on there, now the Enterprise A has got a hull of 6. And I didn't choose Enterprise A because of the ship itself. I just chose it because it's a representation of 4 plus hulled Federation ships. Same thing with the Scimitar. Didn't choose it because of the Scimitar. Chose it because it represents Romulan ships that have a hull of 4 or greater. But the Scimitar is crazy. It's 3 points on the Scimitar to add 2 to the hull. So now you can have a 9 hull Scimitar flying around. Put improved cloaking device on that as well because it's got 2 tech slots. Now you've got a 9 hull Scimitar running around with 3 active shields. Craziness. This card is crazy good. So here are my rankings in totality, revealed for everybody. Again, I'm not saying that the cards that are lower ranked here are worse than the cards that are higher ranked. This is completely my personal opinion, and this was hard. I spent quite some time on trying to figure out how these rankings played out in my head and where everything needs to go. So thank you everybody for watching and supporting the channel so far. I really do appreciate it. Let me know what your rankings are in the comments below. I'm very eager to see and hear. Tell me where I went wrong. Tell me where I'm right. let's continue the conversation in the comment section below. Again, throw a like on this video if this is the kind of content you want to see more of. And then do me a big favor, subscribe, share the video with friends that play the game, share it on outlets, share it on Facebook, share it wherever you need to. But let's help grow the channel, and let's get more content out there, and let's get more Attack Wing players into the game. Again, thank you all for watching, and for now, live long and prosper.